Welcome to the Formula E World Championship and the London E-Prix. All 5 lights are on.
And we go green in London!
What a move! What was that?
The atmosphere inside is absolutely palpable.
And we have our winner!
Welcome to round 13 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. The first race of our doubleheader in London as the all-electric series descends on the Excel Centre, home to a unique indoor-outdoor circuit. Situated in East London, the Royal Victoria Dock will host 22 world-class drivers as they battle it out on the banks of the River Thames at a very last point. At the business end of the season, the top 4 championship contenders will have it all to do as they vie to stay in the title fight. Any mistakes now will be costly. Come rain or shine, the tension will be at breaking point in the English capital. But before we get underway in London, let's remind ourselves of how it all played out in New York City in one of the most dramatic races yet.
Round 11. And we go green in New York City.
Nick Cassidy was the poleman for Envision Racing in race 1. But there was drama to follow in the Big Apple. First to have a bite taken out of him was Jean-Eric Vergne, who was spun round on the opening lap in a blow to his championship campaign.
Can't believe it!
Then came the rain, and another title contender had a big moment.
Mortara! Eduardo Mortara, the championship leader, has aquaplaned off! Oh, they're all off!
Ahead of him, leader Cassidy had been the first to crash out, along with Lucas de Grassi and Stoffel van Dorn. But luckily for them, a red flag followed, and Cassidy was awarded his first win of the season after the results were based on the order before the incident. Unfortunately for Mortara, a penalty for overspeeding under a full course yellow meant he'd finished 9th, slashing his lead in the driver's standings. On the second leg of the doubleheader, Antonio Felix da Costa dominated from the off for his first win of the year, while Stoffel van Dorn worked his way up from 5th to 2nd, becoming our new championship leader.
Great stuff, mate, so let's focus on da Costa.
Mitch Evans then had the save of the season.
Oh, he's lost it! Oh, well held! What a remarkable bit of driving!
Eventually salvaging championship points with a neat overtake for 3rd.
Around the outside for Mitch Evans.
But it was disaster for Vergne, who retired after a collision with de Grassi. The Frenchman leaving the USA without a single point from 2 races. Could Vergne be sliding out of the championship fight? He drops to 4th in the standings behind Mitch Evans, while Edu Mortara sits 2nd after 2 difficult days at the wheel. Stoffel van Dorn holding an 11-point lead at the top.
After an unforgettable New York E-Prix, we've come back across the pond for an all-action doubleheader in London, marking the 4th time this historic riverside city has hosted the championship. Time to get the lowdown on this unique track as 3-time Indy 500 winner and FE commentator Dario Franchitti talks us through every twist and turn.
Let's take a lap of the London E-Prix circuit. 2.1 kilometres, 22 turns. Starts off indoors somewhat unusually. Turns 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 all linked together. You can't get off the line in one without messing up the rest. Steeply down the exit ramp of the XL into the chicane of 6 and 7. Turn 9, important to get off that corner well because it's a long straight down to the chicane of turns 10, 11, 12. Skimming the wall through 13. 2 kinks through 14, 15 into the heavy braking zone of 16, attack mode activation zone on the outside. It's back up the east ramp into the hairpin of 21 and 22 to finish the lap. And that is a lap of the London E-Prix circuit.
So with the scene set in London, it's now time to join our commentary duo of Dario Franchitti and Jack Nicholls down on the grid as round 13 prepares to go green.
Here's a look at how the grid will line up. Lucas di Grassi will be at the back after his lap times got deleted for impeding. Some title protagonists are a long way down the order. Verne in 13th, Mitch Evans in 14th, and Eduardo Mortara could only manage 9th. And that opened the door for championship leader Stoffel Vandoorne to make it through to the final, but he was beaten by Jake Dennis, who starts on pole position for Avalanche Andretti. The top 10 on the right-hand side in the green Envision. Robin Freins, the Dutchman, was a championship contender earlier on this season, has slipped away and will be looking for a points haul this afternoon. Eduardo Mortara is second in the championship, 11 points adrift of Stoffel Vandoorne, but it's going to be a challenge for him to score big points this afternoon. He needs to make rapid progress. Andre Lotterer is going to be the first man on his target list. The Tag Heuer Porsche driver lining up in 8th position. The other Envision of Nick Cassidy, he was on pole position for the last 2 races in New York City, 7th today, looking to add another few points to his championship total. Max Günther has his best qualifying of the season in 6th place for the Nissan Edams team. The German driver has struggled until now. Oliver Askew with his best qualifying performance of the season in his rookie year for the man from Florida for the Avalanche Andretti team. Sergio Sede Câmara, always exciting to watch. The Brazilian who drives for the Dragon squad is 4th on the grid. Reigning champion, not in championship contention this season, Nick de Vries. He is 3rd for Mercedes EQ, but Mercedes EQ are leading the team's championship, and with Stoffel Vandoorne in 2nd place, they've got a great chance of extending that lead. Vandoorne is also the drivers' championship leader, 11 points clear, but it's the home hero, Jake Dennis, who will start on pole position for Avalanche Andretti. We light up the grid, we light up the XL, and we are about to have an incredibly entertaining 45 minutes plus 1 lap of racing. My name is Jack Nicholls. Alongside me here in the commentary box in London is Dario Franchitti, the IndyCar legend. That's the rear view of Jake Dennis. That is the view, Dario, he's going to want to see the whole of this race. All 5 lights are on, and we go green in London. So very quick lights out, and it's a very good start from Vandoorne, but Dennis comes across, covers the inside. Nick de Vries in the other Mercedes backs out of it as they turn into the left-hander at the first corner. Dennis holds the lead, Mercedes 2nd and 3rd, side by side further back, and there's an accident. Sam Bird is involved, he's got a bit of damage, and it's with Mortara. Eduardo Mortara, 2nd in the championship, has got no front wing, and Sam Bird, for the 3rd race in London in a row, looks to be out on the opening lap in the Jaguar. Mortara's got big front left damage, he crunches over his own front wheel cover and manages to keep going. So he's lost places, I think, Mortara, and he's down into 15th position. So there's chaos on the exit of 2 and 3. Dennis leads, Vandoorne 2nd, de Vries 3rd. Da Costa managed to get him into 11th. Evans on the attack. He immediately gets him into 13th, ahead of Oliver Rowland. But all of the front runners lost ground at the start, and Mortara has damage at the front, Daria. There is Vandoorne, looking set to extend his championship lead to a very large 29 points. Well, actually, it might not be quite that many if Evans can make up places, as you say, but as it stands, it will be 29. And that would be, look, in no way insurmountable, but
it's a lot more difficult than it was yesterday.
Absolutely. A race wins advantage. A pole fastest lap and race wins advantage with just 3 races to go would be a very, very strong position for Stoffel Vandoorne to be in. 5.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Down over the start-finish straight we go once more.
Just to rub things in, Jake Dennis has the fastest lap of the race as well.
And Günther's got Sede Câmara. The fight over 6th place. Günther has managed to get Sede Câmara coming down into the first corner, I think. So
Sede Câmara had a very slow last sector. Really slow, over a second off.
Oh, so maybe there was a mistake, or maybe the action was there. Here it is. So Askew running in 5th, and now Günther in the Nissan is going to try and close down on him. Evans at the back has caught them and is in attack mode. He might be able to get Sede Câmara here, coming down in towards the chicane. He's got a fan boost to use as well. Evans to the inside, into Custom House. Through he goes. 8th place now. De Grassi's on his fan boost, but I think that's just to get it used because he's nowhere near anyone in front and no one near anyone behind. Evans now to try and close in on Günther and Askew. He can see 5th place here, Evans. 5th place is not impossible for the Jaguar driver. So wibbly-wobbly for Günther into the braking zone.
Yeah, big mistake, lost the rear a bit, and that's just got Evans, even closer. And I think if you're right now, Max Günther, you've looked in the mirror, you've seen the Jaguar, you think, oh no, because you know how quick, how aggressive Mitch Evans is.
So this would move Evans up into 2nd in the championship. Now he's moved up into 7th place. He would still be 28 points behind Stoffel van Dorn, but a bit better than before.
And Mitch Evans, he said it earlier, the mistake in qualifying was my mistake. I messed up, and he really wants to make up for it, for himself, but also for his Jaguar team.
No added time in this race because we haven't had any safety car or full course yellows, so no added time. So it will finish in 4 minutes plus 1 lap. Gunter's all over the shop here, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Gunter's rear tyres are starting to overheat. He's going to be pushing harder to try and stay ahead of Mitch Evans, which is going to overheat the tyres even more. Seti Camera, I think he's starting to struggle with energy, only 10% left.
He has got 1.2 seconds to the Costa. He's got about 12 seconds back to France in 11th. So I think that he should be good to score finally some points for he and the Dragon team. But Evans, this is the fight. Can Evans gain through the order? If he gains 2 more places and goes from 7th up to 5th, that is 4 extra points in the championship. So he'd then just be 24 points off Stoffel van Dorn in the championship lead. So Evans would love to gain these 2 places, but it's going to be tough for him as he comes across the line with less than 3 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
And if you're Mitch Evans, how aggressive are you going to be? You've got those points for 7th place pretty much in the bag, you've got to say. Are those extra points up to 5th, is it worth the risk? Or even 6th, is it worth the risk just to attack Max Gunter? You've got to have, I mean, he's obviously going to try, but
what do you think?
When push comes to shove, I think Mitch Evans is going to go for it.
Okay.
He's up against it, Jack. You know, Stoffel van Dorn's edging further and further ahead in the championship. Every point is going to matter. If he's going to have any chance of catching him in the 3 races we're going to have left after this afternoon.
Jake Dennis leading the way down into the anchor. Swings left through turn 17, the corner named after him after winning the inaugural race last year. De Grassi has now been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision with Robin Freitz, so that will maybe drop De Grassi out of the points. He's got a 5.1 second advantage to Buemi, so we'll keep an eye on that one. But across the line now, I think we're going to have 3 to go, right? Because we're coming across the line now. It won't have ticked to 0 before the end of the next lap. De Vries and Cassidy here fighting. De Vries defending into turn 1. The battle is on for the final podium position. Da Costa uses his fan boost to try and get past Sergio Sete Camera into the first corner. But De Vries and Cassidy fighting over the final podium places. This is going to be a lot of fun in the final 3 laps. Da Costa did manage to get Sergio Sete Camera.
De Vries, he's looking for that sort of undercut. He's trying to get back to the throttle early. He did. He's right there through turn 9. Is he brave enough to try and pass on the brakes into turn 10? De Vries going defensively to the inside.
Cassidy has overtaken there twice in the course of the E-Prix, but only really when he was in attack mode. But they were so loose on the rear for Nick De Vries. This could be the opportunity for Cassidy. Coming down towards the anchor. The fight for 3rd position. De Vries knows it. Covers the inside.
See Cassidy looking for the switchback, but the nose of the car was too long and instead he drove into the back of him. Is he feeling like a cheeky little lunge into turn 21 at the top of the ramp?
We've seen him pass there today. I think he's setting it up there.
He is.
Here they come, and De Vries sees it coming. Another lock-up for Nick De Vries. This is the fight over 3rd place. Cassidy is all over the back of the Mercedes driver.
But De Vries is doing stuff he doesn't want to do. He's overheating those tyres. Does Cassidy have enough to make a lunge into 1?
2 to go.
Oh, late move on the brakes from Nick Cassidy. I'm sorry, from Nick De Vries. Battle of the Nicks again, but yeah, that was late.
It was. We've already seen Robin Freitz get a time penalty for moving under braking, then nose to tail. This fight for 3rd place. We're on the penultimate lap of the London E-Prix, and Cassidy has had a really strong drive to come through the order and maybe pick up a podium for the Envision team. He has a slide now, coming out of Sandstone and down towards Custom House. De Vries again, just covering the inside.
Just protecting the inside, but he loses a bit of momentum. He did last time. Look how close Cassidy is to both walls, entry and exit.
Cassidy is on a mission here to pick up a podium. Again, De Vries covers so early.
Can Cassidy do the cutback? He's trying to go all the way around outside. Nothing doing there.
That was ambitious from Cassidy, and I love it.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Again, watch Cassidy try and set up, carry more curb through 19. Oh, might have overdone it that time.
De Vries is defending everywhere. Jake Dennis across the line to start the final lap of the race that he has led from start to finish. But Cassidy is going to set De Vries up beautifully.
He has.
Coming down the start-finish straight, De Vries covers the inside. What is Cassidy going to decide to do? Late move again from De Vries. Cassidy has it all locked up and De Vries feeds him into the wall. This is rude stuff from Nick De Vries, and Cassidy will be getting frustrated at this. It's surprising that this is allowed when France was given penalties for moving under braking. But also, how is their energy going to be on this final lap?
I think Cassidy was a bit slow through turn 7, couldn't get the car turned. You see the gap open up a little bit to Nick De Vries ahead of him, but some very robust defending from Nick De Vries as our race leader. Jake Dennis just going serenely about his job.
He has absolutely bossed this, and the crowd are on their feet for Dennis as he comes through the corner named after him for the final time. The winner of the inaugural London E-Prix 12 months ago looks like he's about to wrap up another, up into the final couple of corners. Qualified on pole position, drove away from the rest of the field, and Jake Dennis, through the final corner, takes a dominant win in London. Van Dorn second across the line to extend his championship lead. Who is going to be with them on the podium? It's going to be De Vries.
That's how you win a formula race. Gets in.
Woo! Dennis delighted. De Vries in third. Cassidy fourth. Fifth for Oliver Askew. Evans got sixth. Gunter dropped away at the end. Gunter ran out of energy. Gunter's crawling across the line. Look at him rolling across the line. He's out of energy, Gunter. And Mitch Evans gets him into sixth place. What a strong finish. It's Sete Camera. Sete Camera doesn't score points. He's come to a halt on the final lap of the race. Disaster for Sete Camera. Such a shame for the Brazilian. There he is, he's got going again now. But Sete Camera doesn't score points when he looked set to score he and Dragons. But there's the celebration at Andretti. Jake Dennis taking the win after 37 laps of racing, got the fastest lap as well, 2.2 seconds clear of Stoffel Van Dorn, with Nick De Vries in third, Cassidy fourth, Askew fifth, Evans, Da Costa, Gunter, De Grassi and Verline completing the points scorers. Buemi just missing out on points in 11th spot.
Jake Dennis, huge congratulations on today's win. It's such a commanding win. You made it look easy, but I can tell by your body language you are absolutely exhausted. Talk us through that race.
Yeah, honestly, it was one of the hardest races I've ever done, just physically. As the rubber gets down on the surface, on this indoor surface, it's so hard to turn the steering wheel, but yeah, we managed to do it for 45 minutes. Honestly, the car was amazing, so super technical race, just trying to manage Stoffel and Nick, you know, they're obviously the two teammates working together, so I had to manage that, but nevertheless, the team did a great job. The car was incredible, and yeah, the strategy was strong, so yeah, it was just a case of bringing it home in the last 15 laps and just be careful of Stoffel's fan boost. But yeah, insane race. Honestly, when I crossed the checker flag here in the fans was one of the best experiences of my life. It's so cool. So yeah, big thank you to all the fans out here and obviously the British support.
You had a standing ovation, which I don't think we've ever seen in Formula E before. They were really behind you, and you really enjoyed that moment of your final lap, giving a big wave.
Honestly, I've just never experienced anything like it, and you know, I think being obviously the indoor, the lights, and obviously seeing everyone stand up is just a lifetime memory. And yeah, we've got to do the job tomorrow, so yeah, we can obviously repeat this.
Well, enjoy a very short rest, and we'll see you all again tomorrow. Stoffel Van Dorn, huge congratulations, extending your lead at the top of this championship. Congratulations on a second.
Yeah, it was a good day today, finishing second. Well done to Jake. I think he had he had an incredible day. You know, already in the practice sessions he was very fast, managed to get pole position, and then he drove a very intelligent race. So yeah, for us there was really no answer to him. I tried to stay as close as possible for as long as I could, but on this circuit it just wasn't enough to get him. But great team result, second and third. So yeah, let's keep pushing. 3 to go, and tomorrow another opportunity.
Were you hoping to use the fan boost to take him?
There was simply no opportunity to take him. So you know, if I would have known his strategy a little bit better before the race, maybe I would have had an opportunity to to make a move, but yeah, it happened now. So nothing to say. Jake had a great race.
Huge congratulations, Stoffel van Dorn for Mercedes EQ. Nick de Vries, huge congratulations. Another podium here in London. But that was some serious defending that you had to do towards the end of the race.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't really have the pace. I clipped the wall quite early on, and the steering was a bit bent in the left rear as well. So I was struggling a lot with an imbalance, especially for right-hand corner. So it was a real struggle all the way through, but I'm glad that we brought it home in third and scored good points for the team.
Nick Cassidy got pretty close on that final lap, but not close enough.
Yeah, you said it right.
I mean, in terms of the team's championship as well, this is a huge points haul. Both you and Stoffel on the podium.
Yeah, of course, but we still have 3 races to go, and you see how quickly things can change in this championship, and it's obviously super competitive and tight, so we just got to make sure we do our job, and then hopefully it's enough at the end.
Biggest take-home from today that you're going to use in tomorrow's race?
Well, obviously we had a good pace in qualifying, which appeared to be very important, but we clearly still need to find a little bit of race pace for tomorrow.
Thanks very much. Nick de Vries.
Well, after the race, Nick de Vries was given a 5-second time penalty for moving under braking, dropping him down to 6th and promoting Cassidy to the podium. But Stoffel van Dorn extended his lead at the top of the championship to 24 points. Evans up into 2nd, and Jean-Eric Vergne getting cut adrift. As far as the team's championship is concerned, Mercedes EQ now 30 points clear of DS Techeetah, who move ahead of Venturi and up into 2nd position, and a big points haul for Andretti, who are now on 90 points after Dennis's win. How much is he going to celebrate?
Now it's time to celebrate.
The answer is a lot. A little muted because of the race coming up tomorrow. Work is by no means done for the drivers and the teams. They will be going straight into debriefs now and here for another few hours at the track, I imagine, before the race gets underway tomorrow in 23 hours' time. But I don't think they'll mind a little more work tonight after the success of today.
One round down, 1 to go in London. Join us again tomorrow, when we'll be doing it all over again for round 14.
The two DS Techeetahs fighting